Phazon Mines is a monumental achievement in the space pirate empire, allowing for many amazing technological advancements in pirate society through Phazon, but they are bad guys, meaning this is bad, so let's see what you couldn't miss. As soon as we enter Phazon Mines, we encounter a massive crane. While this crane can be utilized to acquire a missile expansion and its shortcut once the grapple beam is acquired, it seems that the main purpose of a crane, that being moving heavy equipment, is just not required in this location. That is, unless you consider morale. As we have seen, many space pirates are not treated too kindly in their workplace. Thus, the higher-ups decided to give them this crane, essentially as a big toy to keep their workers complacent. We instantly run into proof of the technological exploits this mine has accomplished with the Trooper Pirates. These troopers have duplicated Samus's beam cannon systems, making their weapons much more powerful, though along with the duping, somehow they also created a vulnerability to the beam they duped. Though unfortunately, this was not an accidental vulnerability. Many of the troopers in this unit have gotten too strong for their own good, and this was a method the pirate leaders had of disposing strong soldiers who have ever showed any disrespect to authority. Deeper into the mines, we come across the industrial pulse beam, which allows for mining of the rock around this room. The one oddity is no matter how powerful this beam is, when it hits Samus, it does minuscule damage. While you may think this is due to Samus's shielding systems, this is actually due to the beam having a crush on Samus, not wanting harm to befall her. The ore processing room in Phazon Mines is a very memorable puzzle that all revolves around a revolving tower. Though many people know of its revolving properties, many don't know that it can actually rotate in another manner. And of course I'm talking about how this pillar also rotates along with Talon 4 as it rotates on its axis. The mini-bosses we come across in Phazon Mines are the Elite Pirates. These Phazon modified pirates have gained many new traits such as size, a back-mounted cannon, and the ability to absorb any of Samus's beam weapons. This wide variety of traits, along with the enclosed space we fight them in, make this mini-boss very unique, but a lot of these traits seem very familiar. If we look closely, all the traits of this boss are taken from previous mini-bosses: armor from the Armored Beetle, energy absorption from the Adult She-Goth, and since Magmoor Caverns had no mini-boss, the cannon must be a reference to the turrets at the Magmoor pirate base, meaning without all 3 points of research from outer facilities, the Elite Pirates would just be big and nothing else. Phazon Mines also has a very unique enemy, the Cloaked Drone. This guy is completely invisible unless you have the X-ray visor. However, since you need to defeat the Cloaked Drone to unlock the X-ray visor, the Cloaked Drone itself is a paradox. A paradox that the developers desired to impose on us as an experiment, testing the malleability of our minds and our ability to accept the fact that we will never know what the Cloaked Drone truly looks like. While this might not be inherently scary, the fact that the developers might have been imposing other experiments on us without our knowledge is terrifying. The power bombs are a really great item that allow you to break Bendesium, but the only thing about the power bombs that not many know is that they used to be called the super bombs, and the only reason they changed the name was because they decided to make power bombs have the same abbreviation as peanut butter: PB. Many invisible platforms become visible to us after the acquisition of the X-ray visor, though why were they built invisible in the first place? The answer is actually pretty simple. A pirate researcher who always had his lunch stolen from the community fridge decided to hide his food in a secret fridge behind the Phazon deposit, making it inaccessible without knowledge of these platforms. Hunter Metroids are a derivative of the Talon Metroid, though comparatively to the normal route Phazon mutation takes Metroids through, Hunters somehow grow tentacles and gain a more slender physique. While you may think there was some crazy facet to this differing mutation, Hunters just purely diet better and put in the work for their new features and physique. The main boss of Phazon Mines is the Omega Pirate. This pirate is the cream of the crop when it comes to the pirate forces, having everything that would be needed to take out Samus properly. Though, with this in mind, the way the fight plays out shows a deep lack of self-confidence from this Omega Pirate. After each segment of his health bar drains, he always attempts to refill his HP by absorbing Phazon, though, due to the immense amount of time this takes, Samus never falters and just stops him in the process. The Omega Pirate even thinking he needs this extra HP, instead of just pressing the attack, shows an immense amount of doubt in oneself. And while this is a good thing since he is attempting to kill us, seeing someone suffer from so much anxiety and quite frankly performance issues is never a fun sight to behold. And lastly, at the end of the fight with the Omega Pirate, we see that Phazon actually has a mind of its own, choosing to melt down the Omega Pirate after its defeat and choose Samus as the wielder of its power. Why this was never explored deeper is unknown, but it's a cool thing to know nonetheless. And that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed, you know what to do.